Well, hello there, boys and girls. Welcome back to Troutopolis, the City Skylines playthrough, and this is episode number 4, as the sun is rising over the beautiful utopia that is Troutopolis. Now, if you saw in the last episode, we made some major expansions. Well, I say major, we made a fair few compared to what it was before. We've made a new suburb or cul-de-sac over here. We've also made a what is going to be a main CBD area, but for the time being is a little underwhelming, just simply because we didn't really get too far into what we were doing last time. Still making a bit of money, not so many people coming in to live here, but I think that's probably because we haven't got so many residential areas to stay. There are some problems here with police being needed. The crime rate is quite high, so we need to set up a police department, which I think is ultimately one of the first things to do. There's also something on fire over there. Now, I was going to set everything up down here, I think, but we might have to reconsider that. So we want the police station, of course. I'm going to put all of the major facilities for the town over in this direction. We actually haven't got enough money to buy much else at this very point in time, which is an unfortunate shame. However, we also need to consider the fact that things like this will need water, and they will also need electricity. So, that's got a water pipe now, so it should hopefully get a nice flow of water going to it. It also needs electricity, though. And considering there are some electron pylons coming off from this direction, it shouldn't be too difficult for us to attach one over here. There we go, right over the top of the road. And that should hopefully get some electricity into it now. Now, there's still a fair bit of crime rate going on. Now, I don't know if that means we need to start thinking about putting in a few more police stations or areas, but we haven't actually got a whole lot of money at the moment. We also don't have a lot of money coming in compared to what we did before, which is a problem. So there is a lot of crime rate going on, which I'm not too pleased about. I mean, we're kind of just waiting for money to come in, really. We haven't got huge amounts. I think I can take out a loan at some point. We can take out a $20,000 loan, and I think I'm going to do it just because we need some of the major things like a fire department into the actual town. So I'm going to stick one in. So that should hopefully sort out some of the problems. There's lots of happy faces and things coming out of doing something like that, which is nice. Uh-oh, a building has burned down. Are you sure there's enough firemen in the city and the fire stations are well connected? Bulldoze the burned down building to make space for a new building. Okay, then I shall do that. There's no more problems about crime, it looks like, which is nice for us. Taxes. I'm actually going to up the tax because I think that we need to be gaining a little bit more money from everyone around. And what I might actually do is reduce some of the water and sewage costs, just so we can get back into profit a bit. See if people start moaning about that kind of stuff. I'm actually going to build some houses as well. Let's fill out this area right here. There's a new piece of land available for purchase. So we can actually buy these other areas. I think if I were to buy another place, oh, I'm not sure. It was definitely one of these three available. I wouldn't buy this one up here just yet. I kind of want to buy this one for the fact that I could connect this area to another, but I also kind of want to buy this area because it will be nice to have an area down by the beach. I guess I can let you guys in the comments let me know what you think I should do as far as expanding the town. For now, I'm quite content with just building up this main area that we've got here. I think until we have got a good amount of money coming in consistently and we've made sure we built up this area quite nicely before we expand somewhere else. Right, so these boys haven't got enough water, apparently. And that would be rightfully so, because there is no water piping there, which makes total sense. So if we link that all up, we can even just link that up for anyone who might need it in the near future. Apparently there's not enough energy coming up over here, which is surprising because they should have enough here. Maybe the center's a problem, but because these guys need... Okay, so I can sort those guys out quite easily as far as electricity is concerned. They'll get sorted out very quickly, but it's this area right here that does not have a particular way of being granted any electricity. I think some house might have to be playing collateral damage here, which is unfortunate. And I don't know what house this is, but unfortunately it's going to have to be that house's time. And I think that building right there is probably going to have to suffer as well. Sorry, boys, but that's just how it goes. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Everyone should have access to energy. I don't know if that's because I reduced the amount of energy available in the daytime, but... How much are you using, boys? Why don't you turn off a microwave or turn down the washing machine once in a while, eh? Now, I'm also being told that this area doesn't have any electricity or sufficient amount of energy, so we're going to have to connect those up. I'm still concerned why this main area's not got enough electricity, apparently. Perhaps if we were to turn the electricity up, apparently there's more need for industrial areas, which we kind of designated to this general area over here, which I think I'm going to now start to build up on. Stick that there. We can stick one of those in there. I think we could also build a bit on this area. I'm kind of trying to keep a little division between the town and the actual industrial state. So those are getting built up. Now the problem we're finding is they're still not got enough electricity, which is really worrying. Not enough electricity. So am I going to need to up the amount? Is that because I haven't built enough sources of electricity? I've got a couple of them over there. Okay, so now I've bumped it up. They seem to all have enough energy and everything seems to be Gucci, but we aren't quite in the profit zone. We are still losing money. Bear in mind, we do have to consider the fact that we took out a loan. So the CBD area might need a little bit of time before it starts to get up and running. You have to ensure that everything else is all gravy. Right, I need to name these roads, and there are a couple. There was one that got my attention in particular, and this was Dan Bulpin, who said I needed to name one place go. It was like go away, I think. So it got me thinking of putting this is not D-way. This place can be go away. This place can be the way. So the CBD in general is just a bit of the way. Apparently they've still got... is that... They haven't got enough electricity. Is that because I've reduced the amount that's available at night time? We'll have to bump that up, I suppose, then. We are making a nice bit of profit, again, which is all good. And there is a call for more housing and residential areas. There is a big demand for housing. So what I'm going to do is I might just add some more over in this area over here. That cost quite a bit of money, that did, but there you go. Why is that so wonky? You gotta hate it when it's wonky like that, but there you go. Right, so there's a big demand for residential area, so what I'm gonna do is just fill in this area over here. Just so we've got people moving into a certain area. I'm also going to connect up these rows because, well, it just makes sense, doesn't it? There you go. So it's cost us a bit of money to do that, but overall, I just hate that wonkiness. I don't know how it gets so wonky. It's so annoying. It looks like something... You remember when you used to use paint and make drawings on it, and it just comes out as a jaggedy line, and you're like, how do I make this straight? And I'm going to extend that a little bit just because I like it to be a bit more less... I don't want it to look as stupidly on its own, even if it's not dimensionally correct in the same. But the residential areas coming along, they're going to need actually plumbing and electricity, but I am slightly worried I might run out of money at this rate. But they're going to have some water there. They'll need electricity. I am slightly worried we're going to run out of money. But if we extend that in there, we can get that in that area. It will also come over to here. Oh, we got another one. Tiny town. Level 2 unique buildings are available. The parks and plazas, so we can actually add a park in. Landscaping is a new feature. We've also got a few new paths and roads we can put in. There's a pet ban and smoking ban policy, as well as parks and recreation. Can make a canal. Can make some new buildings. We could put a high school in. We still haven't put the original school in. Parks. There's a lot of stuff that we can add in, which I'm excited about. We've made some good things happen. This building's actually on fire, which is slightly worrying. I think what I'm going to actually do, although I made that CBD area, I'm actually going to put like a fire department over here. There needs to be a fire department near the industrial estate. So, as much as I liked having it over here in the CBD, it did not really pan out that way. But there you go. At least we could save that building, hopefully. Well, I say hopefully. I would hope it saves it. Also feel like we could do with a few more shops. So I'm actually going to build a couple of shops. How many shops do we need? Let's keep them in the similar area for now. I don't want to go too much onto other parts. So let's build some shops here. In fact, because I'm not too bothered about houses, because I don't want houses going here, what I'll do is I'll build shops in this area. If I build some shops there, then what will happen is at least it kind of divides them off. They'll get their shops available, and then they can start going from there. Alright, and quickly I'm finding we need more houses being put in. I want to keep expanding this area. I need some good money to come in so I can actually put in stuff like the high school and bits and pieces like that. There's also parks and bits and pieces like that. There's playgrounds, which I'm going to probably reserve for another area. Yeah, so I kind of just want to fill this area with the major stuff like high schools and bits and pieces. And I could make this a lot easier on myself by linking up some of these roads. I am just conscious about overspending when I can't afford to do it. So this will kind of be the area to put high schools, schools, and general bits and pieces like that. I might even put a park somewhere over here. Looks like we might need to put some more energy in. More electricity. I don't know if it's because we've got so many more buildings going on that they need more power. Some of them are okay. Some of them have not got enough electricity though. And I don't know if extending this would make it okay. Let's try it. Let's do that and see what happens. See if it actually makes it better for them, but I don't think it does. Right, this comes from here. So this is... It's just not enough power, is it? What if I put another wind turbine down? Because they're not super expensive. This one... That comes all the way from there. And reaches up over in that area, doesn't it? So... If I could stick that there, it might help. Maybe that's helping. Well, they've stopped moaning, so it must have helped somewhat. We still need to fill out this area, but the fact that we haven't got a lot of money is why we haven't managed to get too many of the buildings that are available to us. So there's a lot we can play around with, and it's just about making money. So what I might even do is, in my spare time, just let this game like play on and run out, or fast forward it, so we can get to a point where we've got a load of money in, and then we can start to quickly stick a load of stuff in, because I don't want every episode to be where we're just constantly building the same stuff over and over again and nothing really happens. If in fact we actually need to put into more housing estate because the demand is high. And what I'll do actually is extend it over to these areas here, and hopefully those get filled in at some point. Okay, that didn't work. Those will obviously get filled in. They might need power to them. And if they do, I'll probably build a wind turbine off in this direction or something and link them all in that sense. But anyway, we're going to let that play out. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Do drop a like rating if you did, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace out.